Do you know about the power of habit and how to change your habits? I mean, you may not realize how much of our day and how much of what we do is ran on habit. What is up, my winning friend? My name is Zach, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to talk about the power of habit and how to change habits. So we're going to get started right now. I started smoking cigarettes when I was 9 years old, alright? 9 years old. I'm 29 years old now. And I just now finally quit smoking cigarettes at 29. I tried to stop smoking numerous of times throughout my life, and I've quitting even for weeks and even a month at a time. And I tried everything under the book, and no matter what I did, I always seemed to pick it back up. And it was stressful. It was discouraging. I knew that it was damaging my health. I didn't like it. I didn't want it anymore. But for some reason, I just always would go back. And it wasn't until I read this book that I was able to finally stop smoking cigarettes. And when I read it, you know, I learned about the patterns of a habit, how to identify patterns in a habit, and to change them, to tweak them a little bit, to throw off the pattern. I learned about how to become aware of the patterns and aware of the actual habit itself, and that allowed me to actually put it down, you know. And now I haven't smoked in weeks. And I identified the cues and all that stuff, and been able to switch them. And not only that, do I feel great, you know, that I'm not smoking anymore, but I'm able to. It translated into other habits in my life. Like I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning now. That's crazy. I'm working out constantly. I'm eating healthy. All this stuff, like, it's translating into other facets of my life, because that was a keystone habit for me. And now that I've been able to put that down, it translates into other things like that. Work off that, the healthiness, you know, of not smoking. Now I want to work out and eat healthier too, and then it caused me want to get up earlier and go to bed, or all that. It's just all translating. I couldn't be happier. So I'm going to share with you some really good stuff that I learned out of here. And real quick, if you haven't read this yet, I mean, we're going to cover some topics in here today on this video, but if you haven't read this yet, go get it right now. It's that powerful. It's going to help you put down that habit or create new habits that you want to do. Stuff that if you've been struggling to try to work out and to get into a workout habit, this will help you do that. If you've been trying to get into a good eating healthy habit, this will help you do that. If you're trying to quit smoking, all that. If you're trying to quit whatever, this is going to help you do that. And I suggest you go get this right now. I'll leave a link to it in the comments below and in the description below that you can get this right now. Alright, so let's talk about the habit loop right here. For every single habit, there's a habit loop. And what I mean by that, there's a cue, a routine, and a reward. Now, the cue is a trigger. It's the craving for the reward. Something happens, and now you are craving the reward. And the routine is obviously the habit, the actual action of the habit. And then the reward is what you get from doing that. Alright, so let's use my smoking for an example here. Every time I seen a cigarette or smelt one, I craved the reward, which was the stimulation. And so my routine was smoking. That was the routine, smoking the actual cigarette. It was the craving for nicotine. Now, when you can identify the cue and the reward of each habit, then you can modify the routine and the process and develop new habits. So for me, I took that cue whenever I seen and smelled cigarettes and it made me crave the stimulation. I substituted the smoking, for doing a set of push-ups or doing a set of sit-ups or walking around the block or drinking some coffee. You know, until I found out the best effectiveness for me was just a set of push-ups. And I was able to modify this whole process here and therefore overcome this habit of smoking that I've had for years. Habits are really, really powerful. I mean, really powerful. And a lot of times, you know, the only thing about habits is that there's no guarantee whether it's a good habit or not. Our brains don't know if it's a good habit or a bad habit, and they're very powerful. But you must know that you have the power, the control of the habit. You just have to be self-conscious enough to use that power, to use that control, and to remove bad habits and replace them with good habits, because we are creatures of habit. And knowing, just being aware of the whole cue, routine, and reward, that itself is powerful, because now you know how to address that habit, how to fix it, how to make it better. And a good way, you also want to play with those rewards. Like I mentioned, I was doing the push-ups, the coffee, and the sit-ups, the walk around the block, all the different stuff, and I found out what worked best for me, because then you can truly find what it is that you're truly craving. For me, the coffee, it was great. It helped, but the stimulation of the working out, and the endorphins that came from actually doing the push-ups, feeling good afterwards, I guess I somewhat got that from smoking the nicotine too, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I know the push-ups seem to work the best for me, other than the coffee or the walk around the block. I don't know, it was something about it. So play around with the rewards, and just being aware of these cues, routine, and the rewards, and knowing it, and knowing that you have the power, you have the control to change your habits, and being self-aware enough to take that control will change the whole entire game for you, and you'll be able to create positive habits in your own life. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch more videos about developing good habits, then check out this playlist right there. And if you know anybody that just has a ton of bad habits, or just struggles with creating new good habits, or that could just use this video in general, please share it with them. And share this on social media, on your favorite social media site. Share it. Let's reach more people together and impact more lives together, because that's what we're all about right here on One with Zach. We're about making an impact in people's lives. So as always, if you want to reach your potential and crush your goals, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell notifications. That way you don't miss anything. And as always, my winning friend, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.